Thank you, Mother, Father, God. Thank you, archangels and ascended masters, for the perfect grace, perfect clarity, and perfect peace that's here for each of us right now. Thank you to the angelic realm, the elemental realm, our ancestors, spirit guides, animal guides, and guardian angels. We thank you for this opportunity for radiant peace. So we choose to ride the wave of grace. We choose to ride the stream of goodness. We choose to arrive at a place of peace right now. So let's just take in a breath. Let's notice everything stopping except for good. Let's let good continue to circulate. Let's allow there to be a pause pressed on stress, expectation. Let's let anything that is happening with health to have attention paid to it. And let's very simply notice Archangel Michael holding the hand of the goddess Freya. And if we could notice the two of them coming forward together with collective energy, so if we could see the 100% energy of Archangel Michael and the 100% energy of the goddess Freya multiplying and bouncing off of each other to create 1,000% goodness around you. If we could just breathe in and let them surround you with their goodness, their strength, their clarity, and their love, like a gold ring. So if we could just breathe into that. So like Saturn's rings, but perhaps not the width. Let's notice that gold ring around you. Let's notice Freya and Michael entering that ring with you. And if we could just take in a breath, if we could let any facade relax, and if we could take a moment to let ourselves feel what we're feeling, be that disappointment, be that heaviness, be that worry, if we could just let that happen for a moment. That we're not trying to keep something back. And if we could let those feelings be in the forefront and let's let them continue to move forward into the arms of Freya and Michael. So let's let Freya and Michael catch the disappointment, the fear, the self punishment, the pain, the pressure. So if we could breathe in, and if you could notice Archangel Michael lifting weight off of you, psychic weight, the weight of other people, the weight of expectations, the weight of things that want your attention. Let's let Michael lift off of you anything that is distracting, anything demanding your focus. Let this moment be entirely about you connecting with Michael and Freya. And if we could let Freya, with great elegance, moving right in front of you, so her heart matches your heart, hip to hip, heart to heart, head to head, shoulder to shoulder. If we could just breathe in and just notice this goddess embracing you with some strength and with her open heart. If we could just breathe in, and if we could take perhaps 10 breaths to breathe with Freya. And if we could continue breathing, but add in self-forgiveness, forgiving others, forgiving any self-criticism, forgiving the fact that there's expectation in place from you, from other people. And if we could let the calendar, by the time you're 40, by the time you're 50, by the time let's let that just fall to the floor. And if we could instead pick up the energy of viability. And if we could very simply say out loud, I am viable. am viable. I allow my life to be great. I welcome positive change. Wonderful. If we could notice Freya, whether you see her, feel her, hear her, know that she's there, if we could notice her massaging your neck, and with her strong and tender voice, if we could notice her speaking directly to you, and there might be a sensation in the throat as she speaks, your throat, as she speaks directly to you. If we could just breathe in. And if we could notice what it's like in this moment as Freya continues to talk, to release the expectation that things have to be dramatic, and to let the gentleness of this connection become even more palpable. To use different words, let's release the spiritual 2x4 to the head and notice that right now there's a tremendous amount of care for you right now. So if we could just breathe in and let that care be gentle and letting the gentleness be overt as we just receive. So let's just breathe in. And let's let Freya hug you. Whether you know her or not, let's let her hug you. Let's let Archangel Michael hold space for you. Let's let him lift all those expectations for decades. Let him lift those off of you. Let's let him take care of anyone you're concerned about. Be they out of college or in a different country, or a pet or a person. Let's just let them take care of you and everyone else. Wonderful. Just take another breath. I don't know her name. If we can notice Freya's mother coming forward. And as Freya hugs you, if we could notice Freya's mother cooking for you. This may not be true for everyone. We're all going to have our own impression of what's happening. What is being shown to me is that Freya's mother might look younger than Freya. No time, no space. So just take in a breath and just notice this act of kindness and generosity and nourishment. And if we could place our attention on you and this goddess, heart to heart, eye to eye, mouth to mouth, chin to chin, hip to hip, solar plexus to solar plexus, knee to knee, toe to toe. And if we could feel great connection, if we could just breathe into that. And let's just feel into that intimacy, lean into that intimacy. Over your shoulder, you might notice Archangel Michael moving mountains for you, which is his job. If we could just breathe and notice that everything's being taken care of. And with a smile, let's let Archangel Michael undo the beaver's work or the badger's work of building dams. Let's let Archangel Michael release the dams and let abundance flow, let health flow, let good cheer flow, let peace of mind flow, let flow flow, let wishes flow, prayers flow, let energy flow, letting your systems work perfectly. Wonderful. In having synced up with you substantially for several minutes, if we could take in a breath right where you are and notice Freya tripling in size. So perhaps your head goes up to her knee. If we could take in a breath and notice this goddess speaking to the universe on your behalf, perhaps in a loud voice or a projected voice, like a singer. If we could just take in a breath, and if we could very simply overhear Freya's prayer for you, her statement, her declaration for you and about you, declaring your good, declaring your worth, declaring peace. Let's just breathe in and we'll just listen to that. Wonderful. We'll take in a breath and let's let there be a pause. And if we could notice the addition to the work happening from nurturing goddesses like Mother Mary, like Kuan Yin. Good. If we could just breathe in. And also mothers coming in, perhaps mothers that you don't know. If we could breathe in. And if we could notice in this moment every single part of you, every aspect of you, in the child self realm, the wounded child, compliant child, defiant child, each being attended to, your adolescent self being attended to, your 20s self being attended to, yourself right now being attended to, your conscious adult self. So if we could breathe in and notice every single aspect of you being individually attended to, so those aspects are not joined together or balled together. Let's notice that distinction. And if we could notice the room that is here for something different to happen. And as your adult self, let's say one or two things. If you swear, let's say, I'm not a fuck up. If you don't swear, let's say, I'm not a screw up. Let's just take in a breath and let's say that out loud. I'm not a fuck up. I'm doing my absolute best. I'm learning all the time. I have a lot of help. I forgive myself for everything right now. I forgive everyone for everything right now. I ask for forgiveness for everything right now. I'm in flow. I allow the highest good to come forward in my life. I celebrate all the good that is here for me. Thank you, angels, for helping me in every part of my life. I release punishing myself. I release being punished. I release punishing others. Good. If we could notice Kuan Yin touching with her thumb touching your third eye, like an anointment, like an activation. From this goddess of compassion, let's notice Freya becoming your size once again, and her very simply beaming at you with love. Wonderful. If we could notice the odor, the positive, really lovely smell of Freya's mother's food for you, let's just take in a breath. And let's have that food. And to quite literally have your soul fed. Wonderful. We'll just breathe in. And if we could say out loud, without challenge, just let's very simply say out loud, I allow myself to be who I want to be. I am that person now. I choose to be generous with myself. And the universe is generous with me. I am abundant in all ways. I am blessed in all ways. I live a sacred life. And I welcome divine help. Good, wonderful. We'll just take in a breath. Wonderful. If we could notice 12 angels, which might be duplications of Archangel Michael. Let's notice 12 angels raring to go, like sprinting. Let's notice them going to 12 different things that you're concerned about, be that 12 different people, 12 different issues, whatever it is. Let's notice them racing to help, be that going to people in France or the United States who need help, be that going to a daughter at college, be that going to the pet by your side, be that going to a government office, be that going to the perfect place. Let's just take in a breath and just notice the speed in which the angels help. Let's notice there's no need for you to follow and give instruction, that they know exactly what to do. And with this said, we'll enter a space of prayer. Thank you, Mother, Father, God. Thank you, archangels and ascended ascended masters for helping each of us right now to be well, to be relaxed, to be at peace, to trust and to know that we are not invisible. We are the opposite. We are completely seen and completely heard. And with this, in this moment of clarity, we allow the highest good to happen. We choose to be visible. We choose to be seen. We choose to be included. And in our inclusion, in our visibility, we allow the highest good to come forward right now. And we celebrate all this goodness, all this peace, all this love, and all this joy right now. And we say yes to all the help that is here. And if we could just say out loud, I am included. I am worthy. I am viable. I am loved. I am receptive. I am right on time. Thank you, angels, for rushing to my aid. Thank you, goddesses, for your generosity. Thank you, angels and guides, for loving me. Wonderful. Let's take in a breath. And if we could notice Archangel Michael and the other guides and goddesses standing up and making room so it's just you and Freya. And perhaps notice Freya running her hands through your hair, her being intimate with you and reassuring. If we could just breathe in and notice her leaning her forehead against your forehead. And as a declaration, let's notice saying to Freya and with Freya at the same time. Let's say out loud, everyone is loved. Everyone is cared for. I choose to live in love. Thank you. Wonderful. And with a hug and a commitment and an agreement for further contact, including right now or 5 minutes from now, let's acknowledge Freya and we'll say out loud to her, thank you, Freya. To Archangel Michael and the other goddesses and guides, we'll say out loud, thank you so much. And to ourselves, we'll very simply state the truth and reminder, I'm always doing my best. It's okay for me to learn. I learn with grace. I'm doing my absolute best. Wonderful. We'll take in a breath. And thank you, Mother, Father, God. Thank you, archangels and ascended masters, for all the goodness, all the peace, all the love, and all the joy that's here for us right now as we celebrate life, knowing that everything is okay, that we are right on time, and that the generosity of the universe is at hand, visible, seen, and felt. We choose to allow perfect, radiant health to be in every single cell in our bodies. We allow radiant, perfect, flowing abundance to be in our hearts, in our minds, in our bank accounts. We allow the highest good to happen right now. We recognize it's okay for things to change for the better. It's okay for miracles to happen. It's okay for new opportunities to fly open, like doors opening. We celebrate all this goodness right now. And we are so grateful to be loved, to be seen, to be heard, and to be in conversation with angels and guides. With generosity, peace, and ease, we quite simply and lovingly ask for this or something better right now in all directions of time. And so it is.